No, it's not looking real flush there. It looks like his ACL, so that's not a good one, no.
It's his third, I think.
I'm not sure. I know he's definitely done one. I'm not sure it's second or third, but throughout his career he's had a few sort of big injuries, but he's always seemed to bounce his way back and find his way back.
How's he in the sheds, mate?
Oh, he's disappointed, yeah. He's, as is the case, I think, when anyone gets those sort of long-term season-ending injuries, and obviously he's starting to get onto the latter part of his career as well, so he's not a young bloke anymore neither. So, but he'll be right. He'll bounce back, I'm sure, and rehab well, and I'm sure he'll get himself back on the field next year and play some good footy again. He seemed to get over it well every other time, so I'm sure he'll bounce back again.
What does that mean for you guys more broadly?
Oh, look, we've got our fair share of issues at the moment with injuries, but the key thing is, I think, was our effort tonight. We competed hard against a side that has, let's say, a roster that has a lot of very talented players in it, and we punched hard with them. I thought we competed very, very well. We let ourselves down in some key moments of the game, but that's probably to be expected a bit when you look at the experience of our halves and the experience of theirs. But as a whole, I think the effort was super. We hung in the contest, and we kept ourselves in a position where if we could come up with a play, we could win, and that's all we can ask for the guys, I think, at this stage.
Just the end of sets, the ball.
Yeah. Look, our end of our sets wasn't great, Baz, and at times since Mitchell hasn't been there, that's been a problem for us. We got it well right last week, and this week we didn't do quite as well. So we just got to keep working on the combinations that work best for us with the personnel we have, and we probably didn't do that as smart today as what we did last week, and we probably didn't kick as well in good ball today neither, because we just didn't, their rushing line and the way we handle that at times, there's a lot to learn there for our younger players.
On the other side, though, the defence was so much better than it has been.
Well, at the end of the day, if you really be truthful about it, it was just a couple of good plays from a couple of players who were test players or origin players, and Latrell did it against Queensland the other night, and he did it against us, and Fergie's he's a test player, and when you have them players in your roster, that's what they're actually there for. They get paid what they get paid, and they represent where they represent, because they're actually supposed to do things like that. From our point of view, we just had one or two key lapses, but apart from that, I thought I thought the boys' defence was super. We just lacked that little bit of concentration on one or two key moments, and as I said, when Latrell's playing Origin for a reason, and Fergie's been playing for Australia for a number of years for a reason, and they can really hurt you.
Slade Griffin's try saver, wouldn't that mean
I think that was a huge effort, and I think that probably that attitude we had last week and the attitude again today, and we'll certainly need that again next week against the Storm as well. But I think as a whole and as a group, without singling anyone out, I think the Cronulla one was obviously not a great day for us, but maybe been the thing that helped turn our defence around a bit. So there's certainly a lot of effort going into it, and when you don't kick so well, to be able to do what we did against those guys even shows we have to put more effort in than probably the Roosters.
What did that mean to you guys? I think you got 16 pats on the head out there, mate.
Yeah, I think there was a few key moments there where you could just see the commitment shown by each other, and that's what we're starting to appreciate. We appreciate those moments in the game really count. I think for us to come up with some of those big moments kept us in the fight there, even though we missed a few. But I think although we didn't get the result, we built on last week. Effort-wise, you can't fault the boys. It was one of those games where it just kept going. Like the Roosters, they just keep coming, and that's why they are where they are as a club and have the players that they do. But for us, we didn't take a backward step. I thought a young pack coming up against a side full of internationals. I commended the boys after the game. That's an effort that, although we didn't get the 2 points, it's one that we can keep building off.
I know you didn't lose any fans tonight, Brownie, but are injuries killing your season?
Look, I think we can all acknowledge that it's certainly not helping us, that's for sure. And I believe, which was probably proven at the start. If Mitchell didn't get hurt, we would have won today's game, I believe, and I believe we would have won 2 or 3 other games that in key moments that we haven't won. But that's what experience does, and that's why everyone wants these types of players. So we're certainly getting a little bit lighter now. There's a fair number of longer term ones which are hurting us. And we come into the year a touch light in our squad because the right players weren't there to get it. That's the nature of our game. Unfortunately, sometimes you have good runs and sometimes you have bad runs. But I think what's more important for us is the last couple of weeks in particular, the effort and commitment, and even South and Penrith game. Those games were just the crucial moments where we had the things where we scored the tries when we actually had the ball and earned the right to go to the front. So as a whole, we've really been punching well with some really good sides. And as I said, the Cronulla one was obviously a really disappointing one. But the challenge for us now is to get up next week because we've got the Storm coming next week, and obviously that'll be a tough game as well. So getting over this disappointment and getting a lot of, I suppose those boys should get a lot out of it as well, a lot of positives, and work on 1 or 2 things to get better at, and away we go next week again. But there's going to be some great lessons, in particular for our blokes in key positions that haven't played a lot of footy at this level. So it's going to be a really good lesson. The Roosters have been one of the better defensive sides in the competition for a fair number of years now, and at times their good defence made us lose our way a little bit in attack, and so we need to learn some lessons from that, and next time we find ourselves in these situations, just try and do a little better.
Tonight's effort give the playing group the confidence that you can push the Storm exactly the same next week, go full 80 against them?
Definitely.
Yes, you.
I think it gives us a bit of belief, but once again, you can't back what you've done this week and expect it to win your next week's game. We've got to keep building together as a squad and recommit on Monday. We've got to recommit and refocus on what we'll have to do against the Storm, because they are a different outfit. They are a classy outfit, but we've got to recreate that effort that we showed tonight.
Randy, does it make it any more imperative to bring a few players in before June 30 now, another injury tonight?
Oh, look, we're certainly looking, Baz. It's certainly something that we're looking at. Where it gets to, though, I don't know, but we're certainly on the lookout, that's for sure.
Aaron Woods, you in the market for him?
No, look, we're in the market apparently for everyone. We do get, anyone's off contract we get linked to, so may as well just throw it out there we are. But look, from what we understand, Woodsy's a Sydney man. His mum's nearby. He's going to have family soon, and whether it's Cronulla or whether it's back to the Tigers, write anything. You make up a story, but I don't think he's coming to Newcastle. So, but no, look, we're certainly looking hard, but we need to find the right players that suit. We need sort of probably a bit more longer term at the moment, rather than thinking shorter term. So obviously we'd like a bit more depth and we want to win some more games now, but the new roster, you're only allowed to decide a certain amount of players, and so it's not as easy as what everyone thinks. It's not a fantasy league and you can just change your team every week. If it was, it'd be nice.